Hey guys, welcome back to the channel where we test out modern games on a potato PC and see if we can still squeeze out some fun without a fancy graphics card. Today's game is Gears of War Reloaded. Now this one is interesting. It's not just a performance test, but also a trip down memory lane. If you're like me, you probably remember those late nights of chainsaw bayonets, ducking behind cover and yelling at your squad mate for rushing out like Rambo. Well, Reloaded brings all that back, except this time we're trying to make it run on an Intel i3 with zero graphics card. That's right, raw integrated graphics power. The kind of setup where even Solitaire asks for a break. So let's see how this 20-year-old war machine holds up on a low-end system and if nostalgia can save it from the performance struggles. So as soon as I launched the game, I was greeted with that classic warning, your graphics hardware is not optimized for this game, so the quality will be degraded. Poor game didn't realize I don't even have graphics hardware. It's like telling a bicycle rider that his Ferrari might run slow. Thanks for the pep talk, though. With this optimistic start, I went straight into the graphics settings, and you already know the drill. Resolution set to 720p, everything turned down to low or completely off. Luckily, the game supports AMD's FSR 3.1, which is basically like putting glasses on your blurry PC screen. I set it to performance mode and crossed my fingers. And you know what? It actually worked. I was getting anywhere between 30 to 40 plus FPS, depending on how many enemies were screaming at me and how many explosions were going off. To my surprise, the game was smooth. No stutters, no crashes, and honestly, very playable for a system that was never supposed to be touching this game. Considering how demanding shooters can be, this felt like a win. It wasn't pretty, sure, but it was stable. And on low-end PC gaming, stability is king. Now, let's talk about the actual game. Gears of War Reloaded is one of those remasters that tries to walk the fine line between nostalgia and modernization. And for the most part, it succeeds. Playing through the campaign first, as every sane person should, felt like revisiting an old friend who's put on a fresh shirt but hasn't exactly showered. The gameplay is as fun as ever. Tight cover mechanics, chunky gunplay, and those satisfying chainsaw kills. Reloaded gives you that same adrenaline rush from the original era. And it's nice being able to enjoy it on modern hardware, even if, in my case, modern hardware means an i3 wheezing like it's climbing a mountain. That being said, there are issues. The campaign is still strong, but for a near 20-year-old game that has been released and re-released multiple times, it does feel like the developers could have polished it up more. Some bugs creep in, and multiplayer? Oh boy, it feels like they dusted off the servers from 2006 and just plugged them back in. Bots act like they're still learning how to walk, matchmaking can be slow, and overall, multiplayer needs work. And here's where the community's frustration is justified. Why are we remastering Gears 1 again when Gears 2 and 3, the real legends of the series, are just sitting there rotting on the Xbox 360? Imagine if they had bundled it all into a collection, Master Chief style. That would have been a dream. But no, instead we're here again paying a hefty price for a remaster of a game that's already been remastered once. It almost feels like Groundhog Day. Same game, new year. Now, don't get me wrong. If you've never played Gears before, this is a solid entry point. The mechanics hold up, the story is iconic, and it's still one of the best cover shooters out there. But if you already own the Ultimate Edition or have played the earlier remasters, the $40 price tag feels hard to justify. Yes, it's fun, yes, it brings back the glory days, but it's not giving us anything revolutionary. It's like being served your favorite dish again, but the chef forgot to add extra spice. You'll still eat it, but you'll wonder what could have been. So, what's my final take? On the performance side, I was genuinely impressed. Gears of War Reloaded ran surprisingly well on my low-end PC, hitting a stable 30 to 40 FPS with everything on low and FSR helping out. That's no small feat for an i3 with no graphics card. If you're on a budget setup and still want to experience this game, you can absolutely do it without pulling your hair out. On the gameplay side, it's still a blast. The campaign delivers, the core mechanics hold up, and nostalgia hits hard. But at the same time, it's disappointing that this remaster didn't push the envelope more. No Gears 2 or 3, no big overhaul, just Gears 1 again. It feels like Microsoft is milking the same cow and forgetting the rest of the farm. That said, I'm hopeful. If the devs listen to feedback, fix the bugs, polish up multiplayer, and maybe, just maybe, give us remasters of Gears 2 and 3, then Reloaded could be remembered as the start of something bigger. But right now, it's more of a decent remaster rather than a great one. Worth it if you're new to the series or desperate for some nostalgia, but for longtime fans, you might want to wait for a discount or a bigger collection. So, that's it for my test of Gears of War Reloaded on a low-end PC with no graphics card. Honestly, I went in expecting my PC to explode, but instead I got a smooth, playable experience, which is a win in my book. If you enjoyed this review and want to see more potato-powered gaming tests, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment with the next game you want me to try on this poor little i3. Thanks for watching, and remember, low specs, high hopes.